Hold up.
I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about something that all of us face on a daily basis. We face conflict. It could be conflict between our partners, conflict with our children, children and parents, at your workplace, with people on social media, in your social circles, the ego. We have to realize this. When we constantly get angry with things or people are saying negative things about us and it hurts us and we become victims of our own suffering. Today we're going to learn how you can navigate through the egos of other people. We all have egos. You have an ego, I have an ego. If used well, it protects us. It helps us be righteous about things that we should be right about. The whole point is, let me give you a simple example. Your solution to better peace of mind, peace of heart, your solution to move from reaction to response. Your solution to learning how to manage with conflict. Today, if you Google how to manage conflict, you get about 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 different sites giving you a whole list of things to do. I'm going to teach you something. It may be a little bit difficult to do because it involves the ego, but once you master this, you bring a peace into your life, which is incredible. And I want you to experience that peace. For the longest time, okay, I do get angry. I get short-tempered when people do not respect punctuality. For example, I'll tell you a story. I get angry when I'm stuck in traffic and all of that stuff. I know that's my weakness. I don't mind talking about it. It irritates me because I have a larger goal to reach hospital, see a patient, or if someone's delaying me, I'm gonna have to delay several other people who are waiting to meet me. So for the longest time, I've looked at ways to navigate through this. So I tried meditation, I tried sitting in silence, I tried, why am I getting angry? I tried praying, I did all of those things. They help a little bit here and there. And then I learned this one thing, and I'm going to share that with you today. Self-awareness. Let me give you an example. Now, if someone is approaching you or engaging you from a space of their ego, okay? And if you're self-aware and you know that it's coming from their ego, it's egoistic because they're angry, they're shouting, they're ridiculing you, they are focusing more on your personality and character rather than just the subject. They keep trying to put you down. These are all behaviors that comes from the other person's ego. Now with self-awareness, you learn how to let that person's ego stay in its place, which means you let their ego stay with them. The moment you engage with their ego, your ego engages with their ego, everything changes, and it literally becomes irreversible. When you engage a negative energy, that negative energy is now engaged with your energy. It starts depleting you. It starts depleting you more and more, and it starts provoking you. So first you were calm, now you're angry. So let's take an example. Someone comes up to you, or let's take an example of social media. Okay, you put a beautiful post up and someone gives you a negative comment. Now immediately you react and you say, how could you do this? Or that's so rude and that's so mean. What have you done? You've engaged with their ego. And now you started depleting your energy. You've given your power away to the other person. Or let's take a simple relationship. Okay, someone puts you down using ego. Like, you never do things the right way, you're horrible, you're ugly, go lose weight, do this, do that, all of that stuff. Okay? And now your ego gets hurt, so you immediately engage with their ego by saying, who the hell are you to say that? Or I don't think that's true and stuff. You've engaged with their ego. It's going to go on and on. Once ego engages with ego, it's a chain reaction. So what you need to learn to do is to keep ego in that space. Do not engage with it. This doesn't make you a doormat at all. This doesn't make you a doormat. It gives you the space and the energy to come back with your response. Now, most of us, because life moves too quickly, or we're not mindful or living with awareness, we're constantly getting engaged with different people's ego all the time. If it's not someone in front of you, it's what someone's saying on the news channel, it's what you're not agreeing with on social media or criticizing or in your own relationships. You're constantly engaging with the egos of other people. That just drains you and it becomes irreversible. So you need to be living with self-awareness, and this comes with practice. Like I said, it's easy, but it's a little bit difficult. Why is it difficult? Because it requires you to practice it. So the next instance someone's attacking you with their ego, all you have to do is let the ego be in that space. You may be right, you may be 100% right, but by engaging with that ego, do you think it's going to change the other person, or do you think it's going to go on and on and on? So you allow the ego to stay in that space, and all you can do is say, all right, or silence, no matter how much you want to prove your point. That desperation to prove your point is your ego. Remember, it's not a bad thing. It wants to protect you. When the ego is bruised, it wants to protect you because it's protecting the identity that we've created of ourselves. That how could that person say that to me? Why not? You're just a person, and that's just a person. Anyone can say anything to you, but you built that identity that no one can say anything to me. It's my way. Nothing can go any other way. I have to be in control all the time. So when these things are challenged, your ego starts rising to protect itself. So again, very simple homework for everyone. The next time you're being provoked, or someone's ego is attacking you, or you see a negative comment, or whatever it is, do not engage with it. Let that person's ego be with them. With them. You don't want to latch onto it. You don't want to engage it. Whenever you engage with energies, it grows. You engage with a positive thought or something happy, you start feeling happier and happier. Someone laughs, you laugh, you've engaged laughter, now everyone's laughing. You see, energies are energies. We make them bad, we make them good. You know, energy is energy. There is no negative energy or positive energy. There could be one energy right now or one thought. 10 of you see it as negative, 10 of you see it as positive. It's just energy. It's the way we perceive it, what that energy is and what it becomes in our mind. So again, I'm going to repeat, the simplest way to finding your own peace is learning with self-awareness how to allow someone's ego to stay in its own place. Keep it over there. I tell the same thing to parents and children. When the children start fighting back with their parents and the parents engage, now you've engaged with the ego of your child. It's going to go on, and it is going to get ugly because when the ego's engaged, someone wants to win. The child is trying to protect their ego and you are trying to protect yours. So now it really doesn't become too much about the subject. It only becomes everything about the egos. So you see, does that give you any solution? No. And you feel horrible after that. Why? Because you're depleted of energy. You're depleting energy every time. That's why I always tell people, do not get entangled in other people's feelings and emotions. They are their emotions and their feelings. You can help, you can be there, but don't get emotionally invested because you're going to be pulled in all directions once you are emotionally invested. You can be emotionally invested in people with self-awareness. So you don't get entangled. I can give you empathy. I can give you sympathy, but I'm not attached. I am not attached to your emotion. How can I be attached to your emotion? That weakens you and it weakens me. So to be emotionally invested, it's a much deeper topic. I can give love. I can give happiness. I can give joy. I can give silence. I can give the gift of listening. I can give all of these things and be emotionally invested, but I will not get attached. I will not get attached. It's a simple relationship kind of a thing. Someone's relationship isn't working out too well, okay? And now the guy in the relationship is sad and starts talking to a friend who now starts emotionally giving this person what he's not getting in his relationship. Now this person gets emotionally attached to that person, and now because you're emotionally invested and attached, you have a big conflict of your own emotions with that new person, the complication of being in the relationship. So you can be emotionally invested, but with self-awareness. Self-awareness. That is so important for you. So I'm going to repeat it once more. All the conflict happening in your life right now, whether you have fights happening at work, in your business, with your partners, with your kids, with your parents, whatever it is, I want you to make a list of that, okay? And see how you've been engaging their egos. Every time they say something, you need to make sure that you let them keep the ego in their space. And like I said, you can go back and tell them, hey, listen, you said these couple of things and I just want to tell you it's not right and I don't think it's right. And let's draw some boundaries that if you keep on doing this, I don't think things are going to work out with us. You've come from a space of response. Nothing can ever work when it comes from a space of engaged ego. Of course, we'll use our ego to protect us. All of us will. There is no one who doesn't use an ego. It's not a bad thing unless it gets out of control. And unless you keep using your ego to protect a false identity that you built about yourself. Like, you know you're angry, but you're trying to show the world you're calm. Now your ego will go to any extent to protect that. You're angry, you're angry. Let everyone know about it, but let everyone also know that you're working on it. You're human, you make mistakes. But every time we build a false identity, we need more ego to protect that lie, protect that false identity. So you want to go for a party just because you have FOMO, but you don't want to be at that party. So you make this whole image and you're laughing and making small talk and just laughing with everyone else, but inside your soul is dying because you know your ego is only trying to protect that false identity that you've created to be in a place that you don't want to be, which is why we say expression is real. Trying to be who you are is real. Everyone trying to be someone else is building multiple egos all the time to protect those new identities. But when you are yourself, you don't need an ego to protect you. Of course, we live in a real practical world where when I'm with a patient, or I'm in the front of a minister, or I'm in the front of a dying patient or someone else, I have to assume different identities for my role to be played. But they should be from a place of authenticity. Otherwise, I'm going to need an ego to protect me everywhere. Okay, you're meeting a minister, dress a particular way. You're meeting a patient, dress a particular way, look a particular way, drive a particular car. That is all coming from ego. You drive the best car in the world because you enjoy driving it, not because you're trying to create an identity to show other people whatever it is that you're trying to show them. So now when you're looking at conflict, the more conflict you have in your life, there is one simple, bitter, ugly truth that you must face. You have been engaging your ego with that person's ego. Doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong, but you've been engaging that energy, and that's why that energy exists in your life today. So that's why I said 2022 is about self-awareness, living consciously, awakening, and being aware. Okay, I have so much conflict in my life. Where have I been engaging my energy? Where have I been engaging my ego? And now it's time to change that. The most beautiful thing is when I did this a couple of days ago with someone who's very, very egoistic as a patient. Very, very egoistic as a patient. And this time, I didn't engage. I just let him talk. I agreed with everything. Said whatever. Silence, complete silence. I got about 40 messages after that. You didn't say anything. What's your take on it? Okay, fine. Do you think I should change something else? Just silence got him to start asking questions, which before when I was engaging, his ego, there was nothing coming out fruitful from that conversation. So sometimes silence is a beautiful tool, and silence allows you to stay in your space and allows the ego of the other person to stay in their space. So if you can master this little thing of allowing people's ego to stay where it is, it may upset you, but it's their ego, it's their space, it's their problem. If it's affecting you and you need to affect action, you can do it, but you don't have to do it right then. You don't have to do it right then when the ego is working of that other person, because you're going to attach to that ego and irreversible, no action, no fruitful outcome of the entire thing. So for that, we need patience, which is a virtue. We all know that. We need silence. We need the ability to be aware and mindful, which is why the fundamental of any goal that you want to achieve in life, any goal, health, relationships, work, business, money, wealth, mindfulness, awareness, consciousness. How am I behaving? How am I reacting? Am I in line with my goals? Am I out of line with my goals? Where am I spending my energy? Where am I spending most of my thoughts? Awareness is the first step towards achievement in anything else. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you. And like I said, only practice can make you perfect. So when I started practicing this, I would get 5 out of 10. 5 cases I'm not engaging, and then the 6th one, you just let it go. That's still progress. You're not going to get it right the first time. The point is, don't quit. Don't quit until you get it right. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. And the peace that you own is beautiful. Let people say what they want, but today people get entangled in other people's problems. So now you're engaged with someone else's ego who you don't even probably know, but he said something to her and she said something to him, and you're engaged in that because you've engaged your ego with them. You got to let everything happen on its way. Where people ask you for help, give them help. Someone wants advice, give them advice. Let everyone's ego stay in its place. You got to stay in your lane and stay in your space. By doing that, you own your inner peace. You own your inner power. You own your own energy, and you decide how much of energy you give to other people, how much of your heart space, you give to other people who deserve it, who are worth it, how much of your head space and mind space you give to other people. We don't have unlimited energy in us. We don't have that unlimited energy. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to sleep. We would have energy every single day. We have a certain quota of energy. You got to decide where and who is worth it. Have a great day, everyone.